Well. In the last episode, we saw one of the main first teamers leave. We could potentially see another one leaving this episode. But today we have an important game against Crew. This could really secure our spot in them automatic playoff positions that little bit more if we can get a win today, as well as seeing what other transfers come in or whatever transfers go out of the club in this January transfer window. Two-part special. So as we can see from that transfer for Killer Ferrari, luckily it has meant that we are now £371,000 in profit, I believe, which is nice to see. And also it does mean that we have got a nice chunk on the wage bill available, as pretty much all of that transfer revenue that we had I dragged over to wages just for the sake of looking at some other free agents. In terms of a player that we had looked at previously but we just couldn't afford them at that point, was Finley Barbrook. As you can see, pretty much similar to Hayden Murray-Holmes. Probably not maybe as good, but definitely still someone who can thrive in that sort of position and can obviously help us with regards to that. Decent Sky Bet League One, leading championship potential. He is wanted by a couple of other clubs, but we have gone in for him. We are offering him, I think it's a 2.9k per week. He wanted 3.6 to start with, and I managed to negotiate that down. As a backup, if we can't sign him, we are bringing in Luke Harris on trial to have a look at him because he can play in these two positions. So he's coming in on trial. We've made an offer for a trial as well for this guy, Rayan Colley. He's going to come in on trial just so we can see, maybe improve them winger spots a little bit more, potentially as obviously again as a backup striker. He's also wanted by Dundee at the moment. So them two are coming in on trial. We've also made an offer for this guy, Thomas Moore, just because we've got wage budget to play with. This is more thinking of the future. He's leading Enterprise National now, but could be potentially a Sky Bet Championship standard of player. He's currently 2-star potential or 2.5-star potential. Plays for Eastleigh at the minute. He's out of contract, so we have put a bid in for him. Middlesbrough have also gone in for him. I think if we can pull him off and then put him on a loan, this could be a potential looking further forward again as someone who may replace Hugill. The only thing I am worried about is he's got 4 finishing, so he needs to be going on a strict finishing training session. But that gives you an idea of where we're at. In terms of the actual fixtures, we pretty much saw everything from that last episode, so we're going to go straight into the game against Crew Alexander today. Remember, we have still got Killer Ferrari because he's now back with us on loan, so we are still going to be able to play him. So what will happen is he will probably play as a backup for Ishmael. I want Ishmael to develop and to become better, right? He's a good Sky Bet League 2 player. Could be a good Sky Bet League 1 player. Let's try and obviously develop him that little bit further and get him to be a little bit better. But also, you know, in bigger games, probably actually like this one against Crew, we're going to play Killer Ferrari. What I don't like is it then removes all of his average rating, his goals and assists that he's got this season. I mean, he's still been at the club, so I don't really see why that matters or why that changes things. But hey, that's just what happens in the game when they move clubs. We've got then right in goal, a defence made up of Josh, Declan, Darnell and Nicola. I'll give you their first names. Dario and Zach Shabaib in midfield, with Hayden Murray-Holmes, Isaac Holland and Francis in them attacking midfield roles. Obviously Hayden playing a little bit further deeper, and Joe Hugill of course leading the line. He's now got 27 goals, so his goal return has started to slow ever so slightly, but I guess that was to be expected potentially. So here we go, team sheets are in. I'm just going to go and say it's important that we make full use of our home advantage. We want to basically take the lead in this early and cement our dominance within this game. The quicker we can do that, the quicker we can just build on it. As we know, Crew are currently sitting on 60 points. We're on 62. Barnsley on 68. Again, we've currently got an 11-point gap over Tranmere, which is nice to see. So hopefully Tranmere drop points today. We beat Crew. That gives us even greater distance between that chasing pack, and we can solidify that automatic playoff spot, which would be lovely. If we could go up automatically this season, I mean, oh, that was an absolute peach for curler. Fair play. 10 minutes in, we go 1-0 down. If we could go up automatically, that would be great. Back-to-back promotions from the National League up to League One. I think asking for an automatic promotion from League One is going to be asking something, but Who knows? With this squad, we had a few more sprinklings of gold dust like we did this transfer window. Who knows what's out there and what we can do. Tranmere are losing 1-0. Barnsley are still drawing. We are losing to Crewe, as we know. So Crewe will now go second if it stays as it is. I'm going to encourage the boys, get them out there a little bit more. Hayden Murray-Holmes was looking negative, but we've corrected that now. It looks like we're going to have a dangerous free kick in their area. Holland on the ball. He does do a good delivery. Lovely ball in. Oh, Darnell Johnson was there, but couldn't make the most of it. To Holland. Is he going to drill it across for Hugill? He doesn't. Just can't get it out of his feet. Cuts it inside. Oh, and he does an absolute curler of his own. That's what you like to see. Isaac Holland going, all right, you're going to do a curler? Well, I'm going to do a curler just as good and bring it level. Francis there, lovely tracking to get that ball nice and quick, and the vision to go, right, Holland's in acres of space. You think here he's going to drill it for Hugill, but actually he goes, never mind, I haven't got the space to do that. Let me cut in and let me just get a lovely little curler on this. And he does so, and it goes, whoop, dink, right into the corner, comes off the post. No goalkeeper is saving that. 1-1, game on. Let's get the 3 points. Killer Ferrari here. What can he do? You know, this is his last chance to do anything in an Oxford City shirt now. Imagine getting promoted and them two leave at the end of the season. Thank you very much, boys. You've done a good job. You've helped us get promoted. You can now go on and live your careers and progress further forward in the game. That would be nice to see for everyone involved. I mean, it would have been nice if we kept them, but, you know, so be the game, I guess. It still annoys me that they agreed to sell Hayden when they hadn't waited for the deal for Killer Ferrari to actually go through. Because if they had just waited for that, then they wouldn't have been worried about the financial state of the club, because 1.5 or 1.3 million was coming in, you know. That's annoying, and that's actually a game thing. It's not even necessarily a club thing, so to speak. It's actually just a game thing. Right, Hugill's picked up a knock, so let's take him off, and let's hope that that's not bad, because we don't want Hugill then going out for a long-term injury. Could you imagine? Well, I say lose Killer Ferrari and Hayden Murray-Holmes, but obviously they've come back to us on loan, but then losing Hugill to injury as well would be absolutely devastating. So we're going to swap Francis up top and bring on Brannigan. He's not really hit the ground running. He has flurries of something good. I mean, he is better off as a cam, and we've kind of abandoned the whole cam idea. We needed to sort of get more possession behind us, and that free in midfield does obviously allow us to do that. But 1-1 here, 53 minutes played. Surging run up here by Josh on the right. Oh, he loses it, but he gets it back straight away. What's he going to do with it? Cuts inside. Lovely solo effort. Oh my God. We may as well call him Messi. We may as well call him Roberto Carlos. What an absolute surging run up the right. He's absolutely done everyone. Even the striker didn't know what was going on. Francis had no idea. Look at that for a solo effort. That was absolutely beautiful. Roberto Carlos in the making, I'll tell you. He carries on things like that. Absolutely love it. A bit of Maicon from the Inter Milan days. We've got another player on our hands. Who knows, we might be selling him for 1.5 million in a few seasons to come. Right, let's praise the boys. Let's go and make a couple of changes, because there's a couple of tired faces out there. We'll take Francis off. Dario can come off as well. Bring Ishmael on. Briggs can come on as well. I know he's just had that absolutely outstanding solo run, but that's absolutely knackered him. He's used all of his stamina in that one run running forward. What's happening in the other... Never mind, we'll have a look in a minute. Brannigan on the free kick. Can he deliver as well as Holland? Who's he aiming for? Let's see. Oh, he was going for Skara, but they was never going to get there. Brannigan, long-range effort, comes off the crossbar. Unlucky for him. Good effort, good idea. Tranmere are now drawing 1-1 with Exeter. They're still dropping points. And Barnsley are drawing with Forest Green. So currently, that is obviously good news for us. Them dropping points means we only go 4 points behind them. I mean, a goal for Forest Green would be lovely. Well, we need to keep the lead though, right? Ah, there we go. Right comes out. Just like that. We know we're going to say focus to the boys. Long goal kick downfield. Not sure I like that. Branningham's picked up a knock as well, which is worrying. Darnell Johnson into Skara. Ball out to Branningham, but he's injured. Play it on the... Look, you had so many midfielders to pass that into. Luckily, the highlight ends. Let's just keep solid now, boys. We're going to drop it defensive for the last 5 minutes. There's not really much else to do. I've told them to focus and they're overwhelmed by the feedback. I mean, I don't think it's that overwhelming, is it? Focus on what you're doing. Don't concede, right? 2-2, it ended in Tranmere, and 0-0 for Barnsley. So yes, the good points gap at the top does reduce. I'm going to say I'll take that. We wasn't playing as good as we could, and I don't think we were, looking at them ratings. Oh, confirmed transfers come up, which is horrible. Oh, okay, fine. That's for the trials. He won't even come for a trial. He snubbed us. Would he even be interested in coming to speak to us? No. Fine. Then that makes sense why you stumped us. Branningham, 1 to 2 days. Hugill, 2 to 4 weeks. Okay. We can handle that. We've got Francis. We can deal with that. That's not a problem. So what the plan will be, like I said, we will now skip forward the rest of these games up until probably the Burton game. If there's transfer news, then we might just see the Crew game like we just saw the Tranmere game. If there isn't any transfer news and it's pretty quiet, then we'll do the usual run and we'll see the Burton game as well. So I'm going to get these 2 games played off camera and then be back to you with the Burton game, with what is happening in the league, what's happening with transfers, and where we go from there. Annoyingly, there is the confirmation that Murray Holmes has joined Hull, unfortunately for us. He's come back on loan, of course, which is good. We've got him for the rest of the season, but very frustrating that the board gazumped me and took 850,000. Who knows? Maybe, depending on what happens at the end of the season, we might have to consider where we go. The good news is for the board now, we are actually now £1 million in the green. So to be honest, actually thinking of that, Mr. Board, you have just had a very good amount of income coming into the club. So let's have a improvement on our training facilities, please. I'm sorry. We have considered your request to improve the club's training facilities, but the club currently can't afford to do so. What do you mean you can't afford to do so? What have you done with all that money? You're £1 million in profit. What do you mean you can't afford it? Take the transfer budget. Take the wage budget. Honestly, I'm going to move that across to wages as well because we want more. What? I don't understand that. Not being able to afford to improve the training facilities when you've got all of that money in the bank. I don't really want to increase the youth level because that's not going to help us in the near future, is it? And there's nothing else here that's actually going to help us. Improve youth recruitment, that probably will help us a little bit. That's where Killer Ferrari comes from. But other than that, there's not much else. I wanted to extend the stadium, but I can't even offer to do that. But anyway, I'll be back for the Burton game if nothing else happens. So the board have actually agreed to improve the youth recruitment level after me having to have a meeting with them and basically begging them to do it. I just don't understand why you don't want to increase this stuff to, in the end, make more money for the club. You know what I mean? Killer Ferrari came through the youth system. That's how we've made this 1.3 million. And then you're like, not sure if I want to improve the youth setup, which going about behind my back for Hayden Murray Holmes, not increasing the training facilities, having to be basically pleaded with to get the youth facilities upgraded or the youth recruitment network to be upgraded, leaves question marks. Let's just say that. And we'll have to see how that unfolds with us and the chairman of the club. But I'm here at the Walsall game. I'm going to play that off camera, like I said, and bring you to the Burton game if nothing else happens. So here we are at the Burton game. Nothing else happened in terms of transfers out of the club, which is good news. Some news with regards to transfers in, and we'll get onto that in a moment. We went off camera and beat Walsall 6-1. Francis picking up a hat-trick, Hayden Murray Holmes scoring, and Isaac Holland getting on the score sheet twice. So good to see, even if Hugill is injured, we can still bang in the goals. We then played Bradford at home, scored in the second and the third minute, and then pretty much took our foot off the pedal, it seems. There was good highlights throughout the game, but we just couldn't get that elusive third goal. And Bradford then scored in the 60th minute, which made it a little bit nervy for that last half an hour of the game. The good news is that Barnsley have finally dropped points. So they lost 3-0 to Bradford and they actually drew 1-1 to Cheltenham. So what that means, as you would have just quickly seen then, that we are top of the league by 1 point and we now have a 15-point gap over Tranmere. So we've not secured that automatic spot, but hopefully we carry on playing the way that we're playing. It could be very much likely to get confirmed in the near future. In terms of transfers in, we have offered Finley Barbrook a contract, as I mentioned last time. It has come in for us to confirm that. I've just delayed it a week just because I've also offered Luke Harris a contract and I just want to see what they obviously individually say. To be honest, I might just sign them both because it gives us that coverage, and if we can't get Dario on a full-time deal, we then have that additional midfielder, because remember, Dario potentially will be leaving us at the end of the season. So they're the 2 extra midfielders we're looking to bring in, one to replace Murray Holmes, the other one of course is just to come in more of, say, backup. But we have got even more wage budget to spend after obviously the sale of Hayden Murray Holmes as well as Killer Ferrari. It does mean in terms of the finances, the club are now £1 million in profit, or we have a balance of £1 million, which is great. And I'm only spending 65% of my wage bill now. I can actually spend up to 43,000. So we could actually bring in a fair few more free agents, potentially. Probably looking at a goalkeeper and a right back, if I'm honest, because if we actually look, they're going to be the main ones. Maybe not a goalkeeper to replace Wright this season, maybe to look at replacing Wright next season, potentially, especially if we go up. You know what I mean? We're going to need to be replacing him at that point. But I think for now, I'm happy with obviously what we've got. But here we go. The team sheets are in. James Wright in goal. A defence made up of Josh Briggs, Josh Laka-Tabria, Darnell Johnson and Cameron Ishmael. We've then got Zach Shawaib and Victor Gromick in the holding midfield roles, with Isaac Holland and Cole Branningham giving us the width in them attacking wide player roles. Hayden Murray Holmes in his favoured centre mid role, moving up and trying to be a nuisance and be that advanced playmaker. Of course, then Hero Figueroa leading the line. Let's get into the squad. Burton are 19th. We're first on the form table. Let's show them why. Let's go out there. Let's assert our dominance. There's not much more to say, really. We want a good, solid game. Free-flowing scoring. That's not going to get us anywhere, but of course it's always the first highlight, which is always a little bit booky for some reason. But we really want to just be setting a precedent again. Hopefully we get the win and Barnsley drop points again and Crew drop points. We'll start to get a lovely little lead at the top, which is what we want. I don't mind being the chasing pack though, to be fair. We've lost 1 point clear at the moment. As long as it stays relatively close. I mean, I'm not sure what we're doing here. We're just playing it around the centre-backs and the goalkeeper. Lovely little play by Darnell to release Ishmael though. Into Branningham. Lovely ball, that's the pace. He's showing it from Figueroa. He just can't get the ball out of his feet to score, unfortunately for us. I realised I wasn't pronouncing Figueroa wrong all that time. It is Figueroa, and I did think it was, so maybe I should just trust myself, because that's the whole McEphraim and McEachran, right? I said McEphraim at the very beginning, and then I corrected myself because I thought I was wrong. So maybe with these player names, I will just sort of trust myself a little bit more, potentially. But who knows? 17 minutes played here. Long ball over the top. Darnell Johnson does get outpaced, but he's going to track the man the whole way. Follows him out there as well. They cut back inside. Burton take it all the way back. What are we going to do to try and win the possession? We get this split open a little bit there, like a hot knife through butter. Luckily, the Burton strike goes straight over the crossbar. Barnsley are now winning 1-0. As things stand, we will drop back down to second. But of course, a lot of football still to be played here. We're going to encourage the boys again. Crew are drawing. Tranmere are also drawing. Josh Briggs here. Dangerous throw-in. That gets the cross in. Branningham there. Off that delivery from Briggs that we know he can do so well. Branningham just goes, thank you very much, and hits it on the volley, and it goes in. Lovely little bit of interplay here. So Briggs into Gromick, into Holland, back to Briggs, and bang. First time cross. And look at that. As cool as you like. First time volley, and it goes in the back of the net. A lovely bit of football. A footballing goal, some may say. We're going to praise the boys. Tell them to keep it up. They're doing well. Tranmere are now winning, but Crewe are still drawing. Barnsley are now drawing against Northampton. So as things stand, we go 3 points clear at the top of the league. No, I don't mean, you know, let's not get ahead of ourselves. Let's not start partying in the stands right now. But this is a big 3 points. Tranmere, ideally Oldham will get an equaliser. Figueroa here with his pace. Burns will pass the defenders. Cuts it back to Shawaib. Into Holland. Murray Holmes. Oh. Not the greatest of finish. Or even working the goalkeeper at all there. I'm going to say things are going well, but I know you're capable of even better. I don't think that we're playing at the best of our ability. I really don't. I think we can play definitely better. So we're going to say that to the boys and get them straight back out there. We're not going to make any subs to start with. Probably make some changes around the 60th minute mark, potentially. Northampton are now beating Barnsley. 2-1, I think I saw that flash up. Holland here. All in. No one's there. Unfortunately, we haven't got the threat of Francis or Hugill. Figueroa's not the best with his head. Let's get rid of this. Let's defend this well. Oh, safe hands by Wright. I'm gonna actually, thinking about it, I'm gonna go low crosses because that will be more beneficial to Figueroa. Long ball downfield. Figueroa tries to get onto the end of it, but he unfortunately cannot. Let's praise the boys. Oh, here we go. I've praised them now, and there's straight away a highlight, which is never good to see. But Ishmael had that red all day long. Plays it back into Wright. Ishmael goes to release Branningham. He does. No one's marking him, which is good to see. He loves this. Acres of space to work in. Let the maestro do his job. Cuts it inside to Ishmael. Back to Branningham. Oh, Figueroa was there. And it goes out for a corner. It's good to see Ishmael and Branningham linking up so well together when they've not really played that many games together. It's good to see. Nearly 60 minutes played here. We're going to make some changes. Solidify a few things. Dario's going to come in and swap positions with Grom. Actually, we'll keep Gromek there. No, I like that actually the other way around. We will bring on Figueroa. Sorry, Francis, and Figueroa's going to drop out to the wing. What else are we going to do in terms of change? Killer Ferrari? Nah, we'll let him... I was going to say we'll let him have a rest. It doesn't really matter if he gets knackered and injured now to a degree because he's just going to be going off to Coventry at the end of the season. Dario here. Josh Lakakapidi. I've said that wrong from what I said at the start, but here we'll go with it. Figueroa. That's earned his pace. Branningham's there again. And the smallest player on the pitch, arguably, manages to get onto the end of the ball. How small is he? He's 5'5". And he's managed to out-jump their right back. Pretty embarrassing if you're the Burton right back, right? If you're getting out-jumped there by a 5'5" winger, oh, you need to be doing better than that. But Branningham gets in with his head and, as cool as you like, puts it away. Tranmere are now drawing. Crewe are still drawing. Barnsley are losing. It actually couldn't be going any better in terms of the results right now. We're winning. Oh, Barnsley are now drawing 2-2 with Northampton, so maybe let's not get too excited. It could all change in a heartbeat. 75 minutes played. Let's make a couple more subs. We'll take Gromek off, and also we'll take off Briggs and bring on Pendleton. Let's just keep this solid now. There's no need for us to go and chase it. I'm going to change it. We're going to go a little bit of time wasting. Well, more often. I'm going to drop the tempo down now, go to standard passing like we like to do. Still 2-2 in the Northampton-Barnsley game. It's still 0-0 in the Crewe game, and Oldham are now beating Tranmere. 2-1. So we wanted Oldham to come back and get an equaliser. They've gone and got a winner. That's fantastic. No other highlights here for us as yet. 92nd minute. Let's go just see this out now. We do. Crewe get a last-minute winner against Port Vale by the looks of it. So it still keeps the pressure on with Crewe picking up points. But look at that. That is some fine reading. 3 points clear at the top of the league. A good win. A very good win indeed. Oxford City now make it 7 unbeaten. So what the plan will now probably be, I'm thinking we just come back for that Barnsley game. We're in Northampton. They're 6th. So yeah, I feel like we come back for the Barnsley game. And then we see maybe a Port Vale game. We haven't seen them yet. I think we've already seen us play Barnsley, but again, it's an important game. So I'm thinking I'll skip over Cheltenham and Northampton, bring us back for the Barnsley game. You can see what happens then with regards to them additional transfers. Like I said, it's either going to be, well, hopefully it's going to be both, but we'll see. We've offered a contract to both of them. We've got a lot of wage budget to spend, so who knows? Maybe we can bring in a couple more players as well. But there you go, boys and girls. That's everything we're going to see in this second part of this transfer special. I hope you've enjoyed. I couldn't really get everything into one episode without it being over an hour long, and of course I wouldn't expect you to all sit through an hour of me rambling, right? But thank you very much for joining. The season is looking exciting. Currently top of the league. Yes, we've lost 2 of our key players, but we have gotten them back on loan until the end of the season. Subscribe if you're new around here to continue watching the journey. Don't forget to hit that like button as well.